Have you ever felt the world is moving a little faster while you're choosing to slow down? If so, take a breath. You're in the right place. At 80, a lot changes, not because you're weakening, but because you've gained a deeper understanding of life. People may speak differently, their attitudes may seem to change, but those changes aren't signs of loss, but rather, signs of maturity. This video isn't about sadness. It's about understanding. About seeing life with softer eyes. Imagine sitting on a park bench. The afternoon sun caressing your face. The breeze blowing gently. There's nothing to chase. There's nothing to prove. Here, we share a simple story. A story about honesty. About healthy boundaries. About slowing down without guilt. And about the peace born of acceptance. Slowly, one story opens up to another. Because life doesn't end at this age. Life changes shape. If you've ever felt misunderstood. If you've ever felt pushed away for no reason. Know one important thing. You're not alone. This video is a warm invitation to sit with us, listen with our hearts, and find new meaning. In each slow step, take your time, enjoy the story. Because wisdom always speaks in a still, quiet voice. Have you ever sat quietly, watching people pass by, and then suddenly a question popped into your head? Why does it feel different now? It's not the world collapsing. It's not a big fight. There's no drama, but there's a small distance. That wasn't there before. The tone of voice changes. Conversations become shorter, and attention feels divided. If you're 80 or older, this feeling is very human. Many people in many countries, in many cultures, feel the same way. And today, we're not here to blame anyone. We're here to gently understand. This video is like a warm cup of tea in the afternoon. It's not rushed. It's not loud. It's just companionship. Take a deep breath, and let's walk together. If videos like this make you feel accompanied, heard, or simply less alone, please support this channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. Your support helps quiet stories like this one reach more hearts around the world. Thank you for being here. Now, let's start slowly. The first reason why people's attitudes toward you change after 80 is you're no longer pretending. Imagine life as a long train journey. When we were younger, we often got on and off the train cars. We greeted everyone. We smiled even though we were tired. We spoke even though our hearts wanted to remain silent. We did this because we wanted to be accepted, because we wanted to be liked, because we wanted to be considered enough. But after 80, you've come a long way. You no longer move from train car to train. You sit quietly in a window seat, peacefully gazing out at the view. And you speak, only when it's necessary. For some people, this feels strange. They're used to people always agreeing, always smiling, always adapting. When you stop pretending, they feel a loss of control. But let's be honest, gently. At this age, time is your most precious treasure. And you no longer want to waste it on insincere things. That's not coldness, that's inner maturity. Like the afternoon sun, no longer scorching, but warm and honest. At this age, your energy is no longer spent on petty dramas. Your energy is spent on peace. And that's a very wise choice. Imagine an old tree in a garden of the world. It doesn't bloom as much as it used to. It doesn't move as fast. But its roots are deep. And its presence is calming. Children might run past it. Adults might be busy with their phones. But when someone gets tired, they sit under it. That's how you are now. Not everyone will approach you. But those who do, are those who are ready for sincerity. If today you feel like people are being more sensitive or easily misunderstood, remember this, you're not being difficult. You're being honest, and a world accustomed to pretense is often not ready to accept quiet honesty. Continue speaking softly. Remain silent when necessary. Remain true to yourself. Because your quietness is a life lesson that not everyone understands now, but one day, they will. Next, we'll discuss one important change that many people often don't notice. This change isn't visible on the face. It's not heard in the voice. But it's very noticeable in the attitude. At 80, you're no longer easily led. You're not easily pressured. And you no longer feel like you always have to say yes. And this is precisely where many people start to feel uncomfortable. If you've ever felt people becoming more anxious around you, let's understand this calmly and respectfully. In our youth, we often live like small boats on a busy river. The current carries us. The voices of others determine our direction. We follow signs, avoid conflict, and hope everything goes well. But after 80, the boat has sailed far away. Now, you're like a ship anchored firmly. You know where you want to go. You know when to be quiet. And you know when to say no. For some people, this can feel unsettling. Not because you're wrong, but because they're used to giving direction. Not accepting boundaries. At this age, you're no longer in a rush to explain yourself. You no longer feel compelled to defend every decision. And that makes some people feel like they're losing control. At this age, you're too experienced to be persuaded with empty promises. You listen, smile, and then choose calmly. And that's a gentle force. Imagine a lighthouse on the shore. It doesn't move. It doesn't chase ships, but its light is consistent. A ship seeking safety will notice it. A ship in a hurry might ignore it, but the lighthouse stands still, calm, steadfast. That's who you are now. You're no longer following the current. You're a beacon. If today you feel like people are becoming more defensive or less patient, remember, boundaries are not rejection. Boundaries are self-protection. And you deserve them. A long life gives you the right to choose peace without guilt. Remain gentle. Remain clear. Remain true to your values. Because quiet steadfastness is one of the highest forms of wisdom. Next, we'll discuss a subtle change that often feels painful, though rarely spoken about. At age 80, many people begin to judge the world differently than you. They talk about speed, about quick results, about efficiency. Meanwhile, you have learned that life is not a race. If you've ever felt slow, left behind, or even ignored, let's understand why with a calm heart. Imagine life like a large clock in a town square. In your youth, the hands of the clock ticked quickly. Everyone was running, chasing time, pursuing goals. But at age 80, you're no longer fixated on the moving hands. You listen to the ticking of the clock. Every second feels meaningful. Every moment has meaning. Unfortunately, the modern world often measures value by how fast someone moves. When you slow down, some people mistakenly think you've stopped. In fact, the opposite is true. You've learned to pay attention, to be fully present, to choose quality, not speed. At this age, you know that running too fast often causes people to miss beautiful scenery. You choose to walk, and that's a very wise choice. Imagine a large, calm river. It's not as fast as a waterfall. It's not noisy, but it's deep, and it gives life. Those who rush may not realize its depth, but those who pause will feel its calm. That's your worth now. It's not measured by how fast you go, but by the depth of your life experiences. If today you feel underappreciated because you've slowed down, remember, slowing down doesn't mean less. Slowing down means understanding. The world may keep moving, but wisdom always moves slowly. Stay present. Keep savoring each moment, because your presence is an important reminder that life doesn't have to be rushed to be meaningful. Next, we'll discuss the last two reasons, the deepest and least honestly discussed. These reasons aren't visible on the surface. They're not heard in conversation, but they're often felt in the heart. At 80, without you realizing it, your presence carries great meaning. Not because of what you say, but because of who you are now. Let's understand this with gentleness and empathy. Imagine a calm lake in the morning, when someone stands on the edge. The clear water reflects their face. For some, the reflection is pleasant. But for others, the reflection is a reminder of time gone by. At 80, you become that mirror. Without saying a word, you remind others that time passes, Bodies change. And life doesn't always stay young. Many people aren't ready to look to their own future. Not because you're scary, but because the honesty of time isn't always easy to accept. Remember this, if someone walks away, it's often not about you, but about their own fears. And it's not your burden. You've made peace with life. At 80, many battles are over. You've loved, you've lost. You've forgiven, including yourself. Now, you're no longer trying to prove anything. And in a world accustomed to ambition and achievement, peace is often misunderstood for indifference. At this age, you know that not every invitation needs to be attended, and not every opinion needs to be responded to. You choose stillness. And that is true wisdom. Imagine the sun setting over the horizon. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't demand attention. Yet everyone pauses to watch it. That's who you are now. Your presence is no longer about the spotlight, but about the peace felt by those who are truly present. If after all this, you still feel shunned or misunderstood, remember one important thing. You have not lost your value. You are at the pinnacle of wisdom. Not everyone is ready to walk as far as you. But those who are, will see you as a source of peace, not a burden. Continue to be yourself. With slow steps. With a peaceful heart. Because life is long, not to be proven, but to be lived. May these stories bring you understanding, peace, and a sense of appreciation. You matter. Your presence matters. Before this video truly ends, allow one gentle question to touch your heart. When was the last time someone truly listened to you? Without wanting to change you. If that question feels deep, know, this video was made for that moment. For those of you who have lived a long life, who have gone through many seasons, and who today may be more often silent than speaking. Throughout this video, we have walked together, with slow steps, with simple stories, with honest feelings, not to judge anyone, not to blame the world, but to understand with a calm heart. At your age, life is no longer about proving yourself. It's not about being the fastest. It's not about always being understood. Life is about being fully present, about sitting in peace, about remembering with gratitude, about accepting yourself as you are. If anyone changes their mind, gently remind them of this. It's not because you're less, but because you've grown further. Not everyone is ready to go as far as you. You are like an old, meaningful book. Not everyone reads it, but those who turn its pages will find wisdom, serenity, and warmth. And that's invaluable. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end. Thank you for giving yourself space to reflect and breathe. If this video made you feel accompanied, understood, or simply less alone, we warmly invite you to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future stories of peace. Please share this video with someone you care about. Someone who might also need a kind word today. And if you'd like, leave a comment. Just one sentence is enough. Your story matters. Finally, remember one important thing. Your age is not the end of meaning. Your age is a testament to your strength. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. May your day be filled with serenity, gratitude, and warmth. Until we meet again.